Okay, so it's been about 10 minutes. If I feel my hand on here, it's still warm, but it's not hot. So if you can't hold your hand here, then it's too hot. So you'll see what it looks like. It's kind of started to like gather around the beater, and you can stop it and just like, this is just meringue. So if you've ever made meringue cookies or whatchamacallit, the meringue pie, this is what you use on top. So that's all it is. So what you're gonna do now is I've cut 2 pounds of butter into just sticks. This butter, because it's been sitting out for a while, super soft. So I let this cool so that way it doesn't turn into soup. So you have to kind of keep your beater running. You can just do it on low to start with. And then I just use my hand and throw chunks of butter in here. And you'll see that it starts to kind of change. I like to go maybe up 1. I'm on like 2 on my beater. Kind of hard to do it one-handed here. So you just throw chunks of butter in there as the beater is moving around. There's no real like rhyme, reason. I don't know, you don't have to do it in certain intervals. If you do it too fast, if you move the beater too fast and it starts to get like a little liquidy, then what happens is you will have a gigantic mess because it will spill out over your countertop. Kind of like putting powdered sugar in a bowl and turning your mixer on high. It'll kind of be that effect. So don't do that. Okay, so just putting chunks of butter in here. I always put my vanilla on my counter near my machine because I always forget to put it in. And it's still good without vanilla, but it tastes so much better with it. So don't forget, because I always forget. So make sure you have everything else that you need before you start, and that you don't forget to put the vanilla in. The vanilla will change the color just a little bit, not a lot, but this is not going to be a true white buttercream frosting because of all the butter in it, and because of the vanilla. I don't use the imitation stuff, I use real stuff. And it turns it just a light beige, but you cannot tell unless you put it up against something white that it's not white. So a lot of butter, which is what makes it taste so darn good. Okay, so the first part is the scary part. This part is pretty easy to do if you've ever made buttercream, but the sugar syrup part is a little tricky, and if you hit the side of the bowl, it will make candy on the side of the bowl, especially if you got your sugar syrup too hot and you have it at hardball stage. As soon as it starts to cool down, it solidifies. So that if you're to this part, you're past the scary part. Okay, so I'm on my last stick of butter here. My hands are a gigantic mess, but I'm just throwing chunks. My butter is super soft, but okay. So that's all my butter in. I'm gonna try and move my hand off. So it's starting, if you can tell, it's kind of starting to get a little liquidy. It's not climbing up on the beater like it was before. A little bit of vanilla in here. I do 2 tablespoons of vanilla. About. Okay. So now it looks like this, and then what you need to do, it's going to get noisy because I'm going to beat it on high until it comes together. Take a knife and I run it to get that like leftover meringue down the sides, and then sometimes I like to scrape in the beater so that way I can get all that meringue incorporated with the butter, and I'll give it one last whiz around, and then that's it. This is a super soft frosting, which makes it nice to smooth on your cake. It's not like shortening based frosting or even American buttercream. It's super soft, which is nice, but can be a pain if it's hot. Okay, and that's it. So if I take it off, you'll see it's thick. Ugh, it's thick. So it's thick enough to spread on a cake, thick enough. And I use the upside down method to frost my cakes. And that's it. Probably can YouTube that though. All right, good luck.